Many people know about the Country Club Plaza, but what you may not know is that the Country Club District was the largest planned community ever built by a single developer. And it's really comprised of a series of suburbs and neighborhoods that surround the plaza. And in this video, we're gonna take you around and show you everything you need to know about one of the most sought after places to live, work, and play in all of Kansas City. Stay tuned. When I think about the plaza, I think about Spanish style architecture. In fact, the plaza was modeled after Seville or Seville, Spain. I don't know how it's pronounced. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I've heard it pronounced both ways, but you have upscale dining options here like Capitol Grill, you have a Jack Stack barbecue, and then you have some smaller coffee shops like Messenger Coffee, you got Cafe Trio, and some great retail shopping. So you're gonna have everything from local spots like Made in KC to some bigger designer brands. This was actually the first outdoor shopping mall designed for cars, and what's ironic about that is there has been some conversations around making it more pedestrian friendly, maybe closing off some streets, which makes a lot of sense, especially when you consider that the streetcar is about to be accessible down here in the plaza. So what's it like to actually live in the plaza? Well, you're really gonna be restricted to a condo, a townhome, or an apartment. And I just helped a client actually buy a condo in the Winston Churchill building. And the one thing you have to look out for if you're considering buying a condo down here is because a lot of these buildings are so old, the HOAs can be pretty high. So in the Winston Churchill building, the HOA was only around $300 or $400, and that's on the low end of what you're gonna pay for an HOA on a condo unit down here in one of these buildings. They can get up to $1,000 plus on a monthly basis. So it's something you really want to look out for if you're considering living down here, but it is a great spot to live if you want to not be restricted to your car and have more walkability. You have all of these local restaurants and shops that you can get around to, and you really don't have to drive too much. The one thing that's missing from the plaza is you really don't have a grocery store down here. So that would be something to consider. So one thing that they've started to add more of down here in the plaza, which I think has been much needed, is some entertainment options. So you have an escape room, and they also added a franchise called the Prairie. It's one of 12 locations, I believe, in the entire country, and it's this immersive putt-putt golf experience. It's 21 plus, so you can have drinks and take in the different exhibits and different putt-putt holes, so it's a good time. And then you also have some really cool events down here. So the Plaza Art Fair, one of my absolute favorite events in all of Kansas City. Hundreds of artists from all over the country come to that. And then you have the Plaza lighting ceremony on Thanksgiving Day. Tech 9 actually did the honors last year, and it's amazing to see this place lit up during Christmas time. Now, when you step outside of the plaza, you'll find some of Kansas City's most unique neighborhoods. So we're in the Country Club District. This is West Plaza, so it's directly west of the Country Club Plaza. And what's cool about this neighborhood is you have a variety of different home styles. You have the older craftsman, bungalows, Tudor style homes, but then you also have these new contemporary builds like these ones right behind me, and they range typically anywhere from like 800,000 up into the multi-million-dollar range, but they're built with modern living in mind. So you're gonna have open floor plans and things that you just won't find in the older style home. But then you also have all these lush trees, and you're within walking distance of the Country Club Plaza. So the West Plaza neighborhood is really a great spot to be. Now here on the west side of the West Plaza, we have Westwood Park. And this is located on the Missouri side of the state line. What's unique about this park and what I love about it is they actually have an annual Music in the Park festival where local artists and bands come together. They have food vendors, and it's really a good time for the community to get together as a whole. Now, just over here, we have State Line Road, and on the other side of State Line is Kansas and the Westwood suburb. Now, what a lot of people don't realize is that the Country Club Club district encompasses both sides of the state line. So you have all these neighborhoods on the Missouri side, but then you have these suburbs over on the Kansas side. Now, the gym that I go to, and I call it a gym, but it's really more like a club, is called Woodside, and it's located just a block over here. And it's a really great spot if you're looking for a fitness place to call home once you make the move here to Kansas City, because it has two different facilities, a full tennis court, indoor and outdoor facility. It has multiple classes that are included within your membership, and then an indoor spa area with an indoor pool, hot tub, steam room, and then an outdoor pool, which is one of the best outdoor pools that you'll find kind of here in this denser, more urban area within Kansas City. Now, we haven't even scratched the surface yet. If you're enjoying the content so far, be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you're never missing one of our videos. Now, we're a team of realtors here in Kansas City, and we help people just like you buy, sell, relocate, and invest. So if you check any of those boxes, give us a call, shoot us a text or an email. We'd love to assist you. So we're heading southbound on State Line Road, and this is probably a good opportunity to give you a little bit of context. We're in like South Kansas City. So that's where the Plaza and the Country Club district is. Now, off to my right, we have Mission Hills and the Mission Hills Country Club. And then to my left, we have the city of Kansas City, Missouri. An interesting fact about the Mission Hills Country Club is it actually started out over on the Missouri side because the liquor laws were different between Missouri and Kansas back when it first opened. But the developer moved it over to Kansas to try and entice more people over to the Kansas side. And now Mission Hills is home to not one, not two, but three of the premier country clubs in all of Kansas City. So you have Mission Hills Country Club, you have Kansas City Country Club, and then you have the Indian Hills Country Club. And all of those are in the Mission Hills suburb. Now, Mission Hills itself has some amazing real estate, and the median home price is right around $1 million. If we were to go a little further north, you have Westwood, where you're gonna find some more modest homes. So if you wanna live on the Kansas side, you wanna be in that country club district, Westwood's a great option, and I really love the Westwood Hills Historic District where their little shopping area is, because it has a great little coffee shop over there called Hi Hat Coffee, and it's like something out of the Shire. It's just this tiny little box of a building, this Tudor style building, and it's amazing. The staff there are incredible, so be sure to check them out. So we're right here at Loose Park, and honestly, it feels like we're stepping into an entirely different vibe. We're right here in the middle of South Plaza at 51st and Warnell, and this just so happens to be the OG Kansas City Country Club before it was turned into this 75-acre sprawling park. But the history runs much deeper here because the Battle of Westport was actually fought right in this location. All around us, we have this beautiful green space, lush greenery. We're in the Rose Garden. They host weddings and events and some plays under the stars here. It's really a great spot to be in an urban oasis. But it's not just about the park itself. Yeah, you have tennis courts, and there's a splash pad here that's actually free to the public. So during those hot summer days, you can take the kiddos over there and they can play. But it's also about where we're located. Around us are some of the most beautiful homes in all of Kansas City. We have South Plaza to our south and our east, and then we have Sunset Hill to our north and our west, which has some of the most pristine and beautiful estate homes in all of Kansas City. Also, you have this 1.5 mile loop that encircles the entire park. So you'll see people walking their dogs or riding their bikes or going for a jog in the morning, really all phases throughout the day. And it's a great place to be, to get out and exercise and just get active in the middle of the city. So whether you're into going and chilling by the pond, watching the turtles and ducks, or just laying out on a blanket with a book and spending a half a day or an afternoon, Loose Park is definitely somewhere you're gonna wanna check out. So we're cruising down Ward Parkway, which is the premier boulevard in all of Kansas City. You have 3 lanes going one way and 3 lanes going that way. And then you have this massive median in the middle, and trickled throughout are these beautiful fountains. So we're coming up on a fountain right here at Meyer Boulevard and Ward Parkway. It's iconic. We're the city of fountains, right? So you have a lot of those kind of trickled throughout the Ward Parkway Boulevard, which stretches from the plaza down to Warnell is where it runs into. And this time of year is amazing on Ward Parkway because you have these canopy of trees, but it's also where you'll find these magnificent estate-sized homes. Like some of the coolest homes in all of Kansas City are on Ward Parkway. In fact, Tom Pendergast was a mob boss who was also a politician in Kansas City in the 30s, and his home, original home, was built on Ward Parkway. But more recently, it's been rumored that Rihanna and A$AP Rocky actually bought a house on Ward Parkway about 6 months ago. So you have a bunch of beautiful homes that are gonna cost $2, $3, $4 million. But then the further south you go, that's when you start to get into like Brookside and Waldo, and then into some other suburbs like Prairie Village and Leawood. This is the spot to be in the Country Club District and maybe even all of Kansas City. We're in Brookside, and this is a Brookside Shops, and it's part of what makes it so unique. You have a lot of local eateries, but what makes it really special is you actually have 2 grocery stores here. So it defines walkability. You really never have to leave. They just opened up this Mediterranean spot, Medi's behind me, and then you have Charlie Hooper's, you have the Brooksider, you got a Mexican joint, several coffee shops and local boutiques. And you have the art fair going on here today. So it's just a great spot to cultivate community, and it's almost like its own little plaza area. Another great thing about living in Brookside is you have the Trolley Track Trail. Now this is a 6.5 mile pedestrian trail that runs from the Waldo neighborhood to the south all the way down to the plaza, and it used to be where the trolley actually ran. And coincidentally, it's going to run right into the southern anchor for the new streetcar extension at 51st and Brookside Boulevard, which is gonna make this even more desirable in terms of living here because you have all this walkability. Now you're gonna have access to one of our best means of public transportation. But as far as real estate is concerned here in Brookside, you have a lot of great, architectural styles. You have colonials, you have craftsmen, you have Tudor style homes, some of my absolute favorite. And the median home price currently is around $600,000. So it has climbed pretty dramatically over the last few years, but I think that is a testament to just how special of a place this really is. And actually, there are a couple of events that are pretty special that go on right here in the Brookside neighborhood, one of which is going on right now, and it's my favorite in all of Kansas City. Let's go check it out. How you doing?
Good to see you.
Good to see you as well. This is Heinrich Toe. How long have you been doing the Brookside Art Annual?
I've been doing it between 16, 18 years.
No way, that long?
When I look back, I realized before I moved out to Kansas City, I am based in Kansas City, that when I was living in Seattle, that's what brought me to decide that Kansas City is a pretty cool city to live in.
Cool, right on. Real quick, tell us about your art and plug where people can find it.
So my work is printmaking based. They're all called monoprints because they are all one-of-a-kind pieces. There's a lot of narratives that happen in my work. They deal with a lot of dualities that I find really interesting between the past and the present, east and west, past memories and current ones, and a lot of them represent a lot of what's going on in my mindscapes in terms of things that I don't see as much, past memories, a lot of yearning, and how they kind of form my current identity in terms of who I am. My name is Heinrich Toe, and you can find me on Instagram at Heinrich Toe.
So a lot of people think that Brookside is a neighborhood, but really it's a collection of 12 neighborhoods. So you have like Crestwood, Morningside, Armour Fields, Armour Hills, and several others. But this is that main shopping district. And when I lived in the Morningside neighborhood, we would walk down here and get dinner all the time. Actually, I had like all of the specials mapped out for all the different restaurants. The Brooksider kind of took the cake when it came to specials. Like they have a burger special, and my kids love the food there. So we would be there probably once every other week. But it's a really great spot if you're looking for that mix of suburban and urban living. So this is my favorite coffee shop in all of Kansas City. It's called Front Range, and it's got like this unique mountain cabin rustic vibe on the inside. But what makes it unique is it's actually open late until like 10 o'clock, and they serve booze. I've spent a lot of time here at night working on scripts and content and stuff like that. But this is the most southern boundary line of the Brookside neighborhood. This is actually Gregory Boulevard, and then just across Gregory is the Waldo neighborhood. Now, if you have a budget of under $400,000, then Waldo's a great spot to look, and it has a familiar vibe to Brookside with the architecture and the homes. Some of them are a little bit smaller, but you do have some walkable areas as well, like this stretch along Gregory that has not only my favorite coffee shop, but one of the best brunch spots in all of Kansas City. McLean's Bakery is just a block away. Now, there are currently 22 active listings on the market here in Waldo, and we're on the east side of Waldo. Now, the interesting thing is the further east you move, the more affordable and kind of smaller the homes get. We're in the Rock Hill Gardens neighborhood, which is one of my absolute favorites in the Waldo area. And the average sales price currently is around $300,000. Now, these homes are some of the first spec homes that were ever built in Kansas City by a man named Napoleon Dibble. In fact, these Tudor style homes are called Dibble Tudors. Although you do sacrifice some walkability in some of these areas in Waldo, it's the perfect place if you're looking for that starter home. One of these common occurrences that we see, and I've helped a lot of clients who buy their first home here in Waldo only to sell it a few years later and move over to Brookside. Now, over here on the Kansas side, you have quite a few really fantastic suburbs and neighborhoods like Prairie Village. Now, Prairie Village is 6 square miles. It's kind of located on the southwest side of the Country Club district, but it's home to around 23,000 people. So it's a densely populated suburb, and you have 14 parks within Prairie Village, all crammed into that area, as well as some really cool shopping districts like Corinth Square and the shops at Prairie Village. Then all around here, you have dense, detached, single-family homes. The difference between Prairie Village and say like a Brookside or Waldo is while you do have some of those historic homes, a lot of them are smaller in size. This is the last development that was built within the Country Club district. And so you're gonna find a lot of smaller Cape Cod style homes, but then you're also going to find newer homes like modern farmhouse style and contemporary homes where developers have come in and bought some of these smaller, more dilapidated Cape Cod style homes, scraped them, and are building these newer, more modern and fresh homes, kind of similar to West Plaza. So if you're looking for the best of both worlds, Prairie Village really fits the bill. And a big reason a lot of people move over here is because it has highly ranking public schools. If you're looking to live in the Country Club district, but you want to be a little further away from the hustle and bustle, Prairie Village is gonna fit the bill. So let's talk about the median home price in Prairie Village. Because you have these new construction builds that range usually anywhere from like $1 million to $2 million, it's really pushed the median home price up quite a bit here in PV. That's what we call Prairie Village. The median home price currently is around $450,000, and usually that's gonna get you one of these older, smaller, maybe 2,000 square foot, 3-bed, 2-bath Cape Cod style homes. But what if you're looking for something maybe a little bit bigger? Like you want a bigger lot or a bigger home? Well, then you're gonna wanna check out this next video here where we're gonna tour the top rated suburb in the entire state of Kansas according to niche.com.